Why am I doing the old Raw theme? Anyway, welcome to Smackdown. It's Gillen here. We're going to be reviewing last night's episode of WWE Friday Night Smackdown. That is the 4/12/24. I only say that so that way I know what episode it is. Anyway, let's kick into that. We start off the show tonight with a WrestleMania recap of Cody versus Roman and how that went down. If you want to know how that went down, I have Night 2's review up on this channel. Hopefully I'll link it. If you want to check out my review or, just actually watch what happened. After that, we see a shot of the arena and the new SmackDown set as Corey Graves welcomes us to said arena, which is the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Apparently this is a sellout, which I'll get into later on tonight, how many sellouts they've had. But that's crazy that this is another one of the consecutive sellout weeks. Anywho, Cody Rhodes comes out after that. He soaks in the crowd for a little bit, and then he asks them, what do they want to talk about? After that, he talks about getting interrupted last Monday by The Rock. And then he quotes his wife, or as he calls it, Detroit native, saying, "Who the hell told you tonight was open night, Mike, bitch?" He then apologizes for cussing and then says that he believed The Rock was going to Hollywood and he trusts him on his word and that whenever he's ready to step up, Cody will be ready for that. And The Rock won't have to look too far. He then transitions talking about the competitors for the six-pack. I thought it was a six-pack challenge, but it's 2 triple threat matches later on tonight that will decide who's going to face next week to decide who's going to face him at Backlash. They didn't do a great job at explaining that, either that or I didn't do a great job at listening, but that's actually what's going to happen. He basically runs down each man and praises them as his opponents and kind of says he wishes that Kevin Owens would be his opponent. That's interesting. After he does that, he then says to forgive him, but he wants to look at this crowd for a moment. So he turns his back to the hard cam and just soaks in the sold out arena. After that, he says that being hunted is new to him and that if you want to come after the king, you better not miss. He then tells everybody that he is Cody Rhodes, once undesirable, now undeniable, and that he's the undisputed champion. That's right, he's funky like a monkey, too sweet to be sour, and Dusty Rhodes aside. It's a good way to start it off. 4 stars. After that, we see Bayley and Rey Mysterio with the LWO arriving earlier today. After we see their arrival, the Bloodline sans Roman Reigns is backstage. They're all miffed and whatnot. And they go to their normal locker room, but they see that Cody's graphic has replaced the Bloodline graphic on the locker room door, signaling that it's Cody's now. They're upset about that, and then Kevin sneaks by them to tell them that there's a broom closet down the hall. Solo says that he will fix this, and then Heyman says that wins and losses actually matter around here. Is that an AEW shot? And that if they want their locker room back, they have to bring the title back to the Bloodline as Order of the Tribal Chief. 3 stars for that, because that segment was a whatever, but what it leads into makes it better. After that, we go to the ring where LA Knight, comes out for his match against the Almighty with the Hurt Business at ringside. Well, I'm going to call him the Hurt Business 2.0. Then Santos Escabar is also in this match, by the way. He ended up having a pre-match interview with the LWO, and he basically says that he always has a plan and that they didn't take out Dragon Lee last week. This triple threat goes on for a bit and then has El Gato del Fantasma come out. They end up beating down LA Knight. Then they try to do they do a triple power bomb. And then Lashley comes in to take him out, but it doesn't work until the rest of the Hurt Business 2.0 let me rephrase. Lashley tries to come into the ring to take them out, but he gets beaten down. And then the rest of the Hurt Business 2.0 comes in to beat him down. Elektra Lopez tries to stop the Street Profits, but B-Fab takes her out with a bicycle kick. She's got a bicycle. They brawl up the ramp, and the match goes on until Lashley tries to spear Santos and then ends up hitting the ring post instead, which takes him out. Then LA Knight hits Santos Escobar with a BFT to win. I gave this 4 stars. I was really hyped in this new era SmackDown. Still am. I'm kind of like dying off of it, but we'll get to that later. We then go backstage where the LWO are with Ray, and Ray was asked about Santos Escobar. He says that Santos gets what he deserves and that no matter what happened, the truth will suffice. But tonight, his focus is on Styles and Owens, his competitors for later on, and he says that he has accomplished a lot. But deep down inside him, he believes that Rey Mysterio still has one more WWE Championship run. 3.5 stars. I'm not going to lie, I could see another Ray run, but as long as Cody's the WWE champion, he has a better shot at the World Heavyweight title, which I wouldn't be mad at, to be honest. Him versus Priest, and then he wins it off of Priest, and then Dom wins it off of him. See, I'm setting up good stories. Oh, also, I'm going to make the prediction now that for Survivor Series, it's going to be the LWO versus El Gato del Fantasma in a War Game style match. I'm making that prediction now. After that segment, Solo comes out, and we go to an ad. Then when we come back from the ad, after plugging some more things that happened at Mania, the Bloodline are in the ring. Heyman himself says, by orders of the tribal chief, the Bloodline offers no excuses and doesn't blame anybody who got involved or anybody about what happened at Mania. He said that Roman entered the ring unfocused, just like Cody Rhodes did at WrestleMania 39. And Cody got spiked by Solo. That was Cody's fault. At WrestleMania 40, Seth came out with a chair, and he did what he told Cody he would do. He would be his shield. Roman gave in to temptation and took his eyes off the ball with revenge instead on his mind. Instead of hitting Cody, he hit Seth. He starts to speak more about Roman until Solo cuts him off and then stares him down. It says that winning and losing matters, so there's consequences for losing, and consequences lead change. He pushes Paul out of the way and stares down his brother. His brother's like, oh no, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Come on, we're family. What are you doing? Stuff like that. And then he hugs his brother. And he tells him he loves him. Then he walks away and turns his back on him as the hooded man jumps Jimmy. He comes out from the crowd. And the hooded man takes off his hood, and I popped so loud when I saw this because I didn't get it spoiled, because it's Tama Tongan. I am so happy, minus the fact that he's a credible talent on his own, because I am like that much closer to getting my God versus freaking Usos match that I've wanted since 2016. So if that happens, awesome. If it doesn't happen, I get it. They broke up a while ago, but you know what? WWE can make it happen. Can't wait to see this, like, single matches, Tama anyway. This is going to be freaking crazy. After that, Solo tells him to lift up Jimmy, and then he spikes him like 4 or 5 times, and the whole time Heyman's in the corner just begging him not to, and begging him to stop. They go to pose, and as they're posing, Heyman tries to call Roman. Solo isn't having any of that noise, so he takes the phone and steps on it to break it. Tama then grabs a chair and puts it around Jimmy's throat. Jimmy's in the corner, and Solo walks over to that corner, tells him he loves him, and he runs into the corner to do the Umaga like butt smash thing that they all do. And and Jimmy just falls into a puddle, and that's how we leave it. They leave the ring, and they're taking Paul Heyman hostage. That's how we end the segment. 4.5 stars. I will continue. I will say my what ifs later on tonight, but I can't wait to see how this Bloodline 2.0 / Civil War 2.0 in the Bloodline plays out. When we come back from the ad, they show what happened just a second ago, then we go back to commentary attempting to transition to the rest of the show. We get Cameron Grimes versus Braun Breaker afterwards. Great way to kick off the new era of stars. This was a quick match that showed Breaker's speed and had him win with the spear. The 4 stars, I'm in a great mood after watching this, and I can't wait to see his main event. I can't wait to see him main event the show eventually. After a sponsored WrestleMania Spotlight, which was a good way to use that progressive plug in my opinion, we go to the break, then come back to the arena and see AJ Styles talking about tonight he fixes what went wrong at Mania. Ray and Kevin Owens are just collateral to get what he wants basically. And next week, LA Knight will be rolled over. 3.5 stars. It was good. It was an AJ Styles promo. He never, I don't think he has a bad one almost ever. Bayley then comes out afterwards, and the crowd tells her that she deserves it. Then they chant her name for a little bit, and she says thank you, and that she's proud to be the new undisputed women's champion. She said that this isn't her first time, and that this title reign feels different. Not because she defeated somebody who was her friend, not because of the new era, but because it feels special because of all the fans. No matter what happens, we never gave up on her, and she says thank you for that. And to that, I say, you're welcome. Then she says she will give a brand new opportunity to somebody, and then she gets cut off by Tiffany Stratton. That's right, I'm going to run her name, call it Tiffy, because it's Tiffy time! She says that it was rude that she wasn't even given a WrestleMania match, but she accepts the open challenge because it's Tiffy time. Bayley says that this is embarrassing, but she's actually looking for a specific person, not throwing out an open challenge, and that was Naomi. Tiffany gets offended by that. She says that Naomi couldn't find a title if it glowed in the dark. This, of course, causes Naomi to come out, and she daps up Bayley, saying, thank you for the opportunity, and just ignores Tiffany. Tiffany says that she has already beaten her. I just stuttered over my words. Okay. Naomi says everything that she has earned. It hasn't been given to her, and that she can't accept that challenge just yet. She first has to defeat Tiffany to prove that she earns it. That leads into a match after commercial break. Speaking of this commercial, it plugs the draft coming up on April 26th SmackDown and the April 29th Raw. So, of course, me being me, I'm going to watch that. You best believe. I can't wait to see where the stories are going from here on out. When we come back, Kayla Braxton is outside the trainer's room and explains that Paul is in there checking on Jimmy right now. Paul comes out. She tries to ask about Jimmy, but Tama comes by and says, by orders of the tribal chief. And then Solo threatens him with the spike, and they walk on by as Heyman asks, what the hell does that mean? Freaking 3.5 stars. I love all this bloodline drama. Keep it coming. Keep it going. I like the fact that they're playing it off as wait, Roman didn't give that order. What does all this mean now? So back to the match. It ends with Naomi picking up the win, which is what she needed, honestly, in my opinion, just to prove that she was worthy of the title match. 3.5 stars. Then we get a pre-recorded package of A-Town Down Under saying that they're hot shit. And if Grayson Waller wasn't in this video package, I could have cared less, honestly. After all that goes off, it transitions to New Catch Republic and the Street Profits, or the Hurt Business 2.0, or the Hurt Profits, whatever I've called them. Montez Ford and Dawkins looking on in the, watching a TV with Nick Aldis backstage, and Nick Aldis just says they'll find them a challenger next week. 3.5 stars. When we come back, they then show where they have sold out for the past 18 consecutive shows, including WrestleMania. It's such a great time to be a fan. They then show a crowd shot as they hype up Mania, and then the Paul brother had a pre-recorded promo about how great he is, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It's Paul brother, 3 stars. After that, Chelsea Green and Piper Neiven come out for a match against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I was going to redo that, but we ignore the fact that I slipped up. It shows her talking to Nick Aldis earlier today, her being Chelsea Green, and Piper was there, and it was just hilarious. Basically, she was trying to brown nose him, saying he's such a better manager than Adam Pearce, and then Piper said they needed a match, and that's why they got a tag team match. This match was good. Jade picks up the win with the Jaded on Chelsea Green, 3.5 stars. Backstage, Byron is interviewing Kevin Owens about his match coming up, and Kevin asks if he could have one of those cool shots with the cameras just walking with him to the ring. He then asks if he can steal Byron's microphone. He does, and he walks to the ring. He talks about his opponents, and he hopes that AJ Styles has PTSD from LA Knight's home invasion. Prior to this, he found a title laying down, and he said, ooh, it's got a tiger on it. It's like one of their MLB promotional things, I guess. So he ended up just snatching that. He says that Ray and him both have children that are taller than them, except his child doesn't suck. He then afterwards says how much winning this means to him, and then he tosses somebody the microphone and tells Bruce to cut his music on, and he cuts his music on and sends him to the ring. They go straight to the ring, and they have a match where, I'll be honest, after LA Knight won, I kind of connected the dots on who's going to win here. The match ends with everybody hits their finishers on one another. KO tries a swanton. AJ puts up his knees. He goes up to the top, AJ does, and Ray tries to stop him, but that turns into him, AJ, grabbing him for a Super Styles Clash off the top rope onto Kevin Owens to pin Ray for the win. After replays and the official graphic, LA Knight and AJ Styles stare down each other and trash talk for a little bit as we fade to black. Honestly, this show was pretty freaking cool. Great way to start off the new era. It sets up the feud going into Backlash. I'll give it 4 stars. Why not? I'm feeling generous today. Also, I didn't forget. I'm going to try this coming up. I'm going to keep these notes specifically for maybe a video later on. I don't know if I'll do it just like the White Rabbit one. But during this show, here are some segments that I caught teasing Uncle Howdy coming back. During the women's tag match, there was a glitch on the screen, and it had like A on one line, and then Y, a bunch of spaces, B, and then forgot on one line, and then U with a bunch of spaces, us, period, and then on the bottom one, T. If you spell out the missing word, it spells out, you forgot about us, A-B. There's no, hold on. There's no O, but you could technically about us. Why forgot? Why you... It could also mean why you forgot us, to be fair. Like, the letter Y starts it off, the U next, and then forgot, and then ABT below that, and then us. Could be shorthand mixed in with longhand. I don't know. But I was getting one or the other. A lot of people online are saying that it means that you forgot about us. So, alright. During the commercial breaks, Nightbird by Marty Amato played. That happened on Monday Night Raw too, which when I get to that review eventually, I'll mention that then. During this time, there was a glitch over the Smackdown logo, and then the Smackdown logo disappears, similar to how it did on Raw. The lights were different tonight than on Raw. Raw, it had a specific pattern, and tonight it was just there. Alright, so I'm hyped up. I'm ready. Wrestling is going to be so good, and I can't wait till the draft. Anyway, I'll see you all Monday for an old Raw review. It's not going to be last week's Raw unless I make time for last week's Raw, but also today and tomorrow, or maybe next week, I'm going to try to sneak in something. Anyway, enough of that teasers. I'll see you later on today or Monday. Bye!